Viscount Krager, a companion of your youth and commander of the Empire's northern reaches, has turned against the Emperor in open rebellion. Though he lacks the forces to topple the throne directly, he has embarked on a quest for a legendary artifact that will grant him powers great enough to destroy us all. The Emperor has called upon you to march forth with your armies, destroy the rebel Krager, and claim the artifact for the glory of the Empire. You have succeeded in suppressing the rebellious northern provinces, and now you must pursue the traitor's armies into the Darkscale Mountains. The Emperor's Archmage has obtained some knowledge of the artifact Krager seeks. It is composed of 3 separate pieces that must be brought together for their full power to be unlocked. Even now, the traitor is beginning his search for the first piece, deep within the mountains. Uncover it before it falls into his hands. Without it, we will never be able to discover the location of the other pieces. With your successful retrieval of the artifact, Krager has fled to the west, toward Glaive Island, where the next piece of the artifact is said to be hidden. Unfortunately, Krager has discovered a secret way through the Darkscale Mountains and is well ahead of you. You face a choice of perils. You may wish to follow Krager along the hidden path known as the Abyss, but you will face mortal perils. Nonetheless, this is the faster route. Your other choice is to circle the mountains through the forests to the south and west. These are elven lands, however, and there are those within who might take great affront should your forces disturb their shadowed glens. As you have proven responsible for the removal of a hated rival, the elven Lord Ithanis has agreed to support the Empire in its hunt for Krager. He has promised to provide you with a tithe of wood, and any elven forces you encounter will aid you in your quest. However, there is also less fortunate news. The traitor has already unearthed the second piece of the artifact upon Glaive Isle. Turn your attention to the north, where the last piece lies deep within the snowy wastes. A great barbarian kingdom straddles the passes to the Northlands, and you must subdue these fierce raiders before your expedition to the far north may proceed. Alas, Krager has already retrieved the second piece from Glaive Isle, and all that remains is to race for the northern waste to seek out the last piece. Whoever regains this piece will have an advantage when it comes time to bring the traitor to ground. Curiously, our scouts have returned with strange tales of verdant green lands in midst of the snowy wastes. Whether these tales are true or merely the ramblings of snow-blinded travelers, none can tell. The Emperor's Archmage has made a crucial discovery, plucked from the thoughts of Krager himself as he fled the battle for the third artifact piece. Krager is not alone in his treachery. A cabal of necromancers within the heart of the Empire itself has guided him toward the artifacts they sought. Now we may strike at the source of this chaos which threatens the Empire. Gather the Emperor's armies and destroy the cabal, and with it, the traitor who has evaded you these many months. It appears that Krager fell into the sway of the necromancers by means of magic. With the power of the helm, you have freed his mind and put an end to his rebellion. With this knowledge in mind, the Emperor may show leniency for his rebellion when he faces the justice of the Empire. But regardless of such matters, you have reclaimed the final piece of the artifact, and now its full power is at the command of the Empire. Take up its might and wield it against our true foes. Destroy the necromancers and their nest of treachery and deceit. The might of our vast empire is maintained throughout the ages, with the great wisdom of the Emperor to guide us, and the strength of our noble heroes to protect us. You claim that Viscount Krager, a former friend and compatriot of yours, did not act of his own will in this uprising, but was held under the magical influence of the necromancers. Be that as it may, He has been seen by the people of our lands to raise arms against the Empire. Such an act cannot go unpunished. You may rejoice, however, for the Emperor has chosen to grant you all lands and titles that Gregor possessed in return for your great service and obedience. Such is the price of loyalty.
On my journey to the Outer Isles for Lord Elberon, a sudden and ferocious storm wrecked my ship. I and a small contingent of the crew struggled to the shore of an uncharted island. Now I need to construct a ship large enough to make the voyage back home to the mainland. Our journey is well underway, and we should be home in a fortnight. By pure luck, we have discovered the notorious Pirate Isles. These pirates have been raiding the coast of Lord Elberon's kingdom for years, and it is my duty to find and eliminate their leader before continuing my journey. I arrived home last night, under the cover of a heavy fog. My cousin met me on the beach. He explained that a civil war had broken out while I was away. To my dismay, the leader of the rebellion is my sister, the Necromancer, with whom my family ties are very strong. Now I must decide. Should I remain loyal to my Lord Elberon, who has treated me honorably in my years of service, or acknowledge the more ancient bond of blood and fight for my sister's cause? I made a choice to remain loyal to Lord Elberon. And now my sister is being carted away in chains to be held in prison till death finds her. I have made peace with my decisions, but I sorely wish this conflict had not led to bloodshed. The castle of my former Lord Elberon lies burning in the distance, and even though my sister and I have triumphed in our cause, I will never forget the betrayed look in my liege's eyes when he saw me riding against him.
Tales have recently been told of a mist-wreathed archipelago that has sprung up in the western seas, where nothing but water lay before. They are the legendary Shrouded Isles, wherein lies the Fount of Wizardry. It is said that every 1,000 years they rise forth from the ocean, and that whomsoever claims this power will reign ascendant for the next 1,000. Even now, your rivals are surely aware of the archipelago's emergence, and are laying plans for its conquest. Through the inhabitants of these isles, you have learned the location of an ancient library. Within this library, an almost endless collection of mystic knowledge might be gleaned. Most importantly, within its dusty tomes must surely be information concerning the Fount of Wizardry. With this information, you will be able to locate and bind the Fount to your will. Go forth and capture the city of Kronos, wherein you will find the library you seek. With the library now yours to study, the location of the Fount of Wizardry has been revealed to you. Unfortunately, it has already been claimed by one of your rivals. Without the knowledge in the Library of Kronos, it may be some time before they can control its power. But once they do, they will be unstoppable. However, the existence of an artifact of great potency has also been revealed by the library. This artifact has the power to completely nullify all magic in its presence. A most effective weapon against a rival archmage. The Orb of Negation is now yours, and with its power your victory is all but certain. But move quickly, for time is running out. And if the power of the Fount of Wizardry is bound by one of your rivals, not even the orb will protect you from their power. With all your rivals defeated and scattered before you, the Fount of Wizardry is yours. Now you will control the power to shape a new age of magic and unlock the secrets of time itself. Wield this power wisely, and you shall become the greatest wizard of this or any other world.
Many generations ago, before this kingdom came to power, the land was the battleground for a handful of warring tribes. The barbarian Jarkonis, first of a long line of rulers, had a vision to conquer and unify the tribes. Several generations passed, and the kingdom which Jarkonis had established grew and prospered freely. But then, in the east, the kingdom of Harendale grew to power, and a bitter rivalry over the borders began. King Jarkonis III, grandson of Athenia, lay on his deathbed and pondered the fate of his weak struggle with its enemies had taken a heavy toll. He knew that if the kingdom were to again prosper, it would need aid from distant relatives. The final choice he had to make was this: send help to recruit crazy Uncle Ivan the warmonger and his barbarian clan, or send a search party out to look for the family's wayward son Joseph, a wizard of some repute. In the 200th year since the unification of the tribes, during the dark times of the family, a scout came frantically riding from the southern border towns. He reported that a barbarian horde had taken several outposts and burned down another. Geldria, the queen at the time, sent an army south to reclaim the lost towns and secure the border. As war and unrest threatened to topple the kingdom of Jarkonis, a blow came which might have crushed it. The castle of Ivory Gates fell due to the treacherous actions of a spy from Harendale. The ruler at the time, Athenia Geldria II, had to decide whether it was better to send for help from the elves or attempt to retake the fallen castle directly. Now, I suppose it is up to me, Jarkonis VI, to finish what my ancestors started. Our family has grown stronger since Ivory Gates was recaptured many years ago, and Harendale's luck has turned against them in battles on other fronts. In the morning, I will launch an offensive against Harendale's main territory. One way or the other, this long feud will soon be at an end. Harendale's kingdom has fallen under our control. Their rulers have all fled to distant lands or been slain. And I am headed back to my castle to live out my final years in peace.